Okay, so moving on. Now, Yoda, this made me laugh because you posted this and said, oh, look, check it out. And it was kind of like, yeah, Aggie posted it during the week, if you were paying attention.
I didn't see it. Okay, well, I want to show it off here because I got some more information about it. Now, I don't think you guys can hear it, which is fine. There's no real audio to it or just some ambient audio. But this thing is, how do I explain it? This is not something that's happening like a movie or a fan film. This is the Gene Roddenberry estate working with this company to try to take the things. This is like a sizzle reel, call it that. You can see here they've redone where the Enterprise E saucer section is, and they're it's kind of like a way to show it, and that is just gorgeous. I mean, you gotta admit that is just beautiful. And then this is all CG. Every bit of it is CG that you're looking at, except for maybe like the close-ups. And they got a guy with makeup. Somehow, I'm not clear on whether they did a deep fake on this or not, but this is, the way I understand it, this is just makeup and very little CG that's going on with his face, which we'll get to here in just a second. But all of this that you're seeing was recreated from the movie into the computer.
I was expecting Obi-Wan Kenobi, so I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah. And then
that would have been a plot twist.
But what do? They redo it, and they bring him back from Star Trek: The Motion Picture, reflecting on the Enterprise crashing or something. I don't know what he's thinking about. There's no words or anything. So my understanding is that what they're doing is that they're looking at getting all this footage that you've never seen before, all this footage that is sitting in a cutting room floor from Star Trek Phase 2. They're doing character models. They're doing all this kind of stuff. And they want to be able to rebuild it in a way that you can watch it, go into it, maybe do VR stuff, and it'll be a perfect recreation of these things. I even hear that they're thinking about taking all this technology and redoing Star Trek The Animated Series as live action using all this CG. But they want to do it in a way that is, it's not about, it's not Paramount making movies. It's not going to be like streaming or something like that. This is, think of it like museum pieces as a way to preserve everything that Gene Roddenberry has done over the decades that he was working, and all the stuff that's in a vault that has never seen the light of day. I don't know how it's going to end up or what it's going to do, but this reel is kind of to show you what can be done. And I started thinking about it. It's like, well, if they could do that, I mean, what if they did, because you've heard the deep fake voice generation, they get Joe Rogan to say all kinds of weird shit, or
I've genuinely used some of that AI to recreate my dad's voice for some of the films that we made. It is quite,
and you can see that they recreated Leonard Nimoy just perfectly, right? So if they could do all that, I mean, why couldn't they do the Timothy Zahn trilogy, but with the original 3 correctly, with their right ages?
Ooh, yeah.
This is the kind of stuff I start thinking about. It's like, okay, forget all these stupid remakes, all this woke stuff. Take the good stuff that we never thought could be a live action thing and make it a live action thing. You want to do the Harry Potter 10 season series? But use Daniel Radcliffe's likeness and Rupert Grint and all that, so that they do all of it, but they expand it out so you can see them do the book the way the book was intended. I gotta admit, that kind of stuff gets me excited. As much as I'm sitting here railing, going, we need new stuff, and they stop making old stuff, and stop trotting out this. Okay, yes, I agree. I'm being hypocritical here, but still, I was like, this looks cooler than shit.
The problem is you're not being hypocritical when you say like the Thrawn trilogy. If they could make, if Disney had stuck to the Thrawn trilogy and made those three movies, they would be swimming in so much money. It would be unbelievable. You are talking about. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You would have had movies which would have been probably knocking on even like 10 billion, because the fans would have just absolutely soaked it up. And like I say, if there is now a chance that that could happen at some point in the future, again, like you, I am thinking, I'd give that a go.
So some of it is amazing to me and some of it is terrifying to me, because the more I think about it, the more I think, well, okay, let's say Superman goes into public domain. I think you guys were talking about this last week.
Yeah.
All right, so let's make a new Christopher Reeve Superman movie with Margot Kidder, the whole 9 yards, and make it, make something awesome with it. If you got third-party people doing this that really love the stuff, much the way Terry Matalas obviously really loves Star Trek and made a great Picard series. If people like that, if this goes into public domain, which all this stuff is going to go into public domain over the next 50 years, right? And over the next 50 years, if we could do this shit now, I would not be surprised if people are just making their own beautifully rendered movies from these old characters, these old actors. I feel bad for the actors who died, and I mean, where they go, they're going to be like, "Hey, I didn't agree to this," but
unless their estates coin it in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If my dad was famous, I'd have sold his rights. No, no questions asked. Give me a Kit Kat, you can have it.
Well, I didn't need to see Fred Astaire dancing around selling a vacuum way back when, but
yeah,
it's like look, the genie's out of the bottle, so I don't know how this works. I don't know what you do. I mean, people are still making all kinds of weird Alice in Wonderland stories. Lewis Carroll, what would he have thought of that? Or does he care? Or do we care because he's 150 years dead now?
I just want to say a quick hello to Big Gator. He said he's joined us later because he fell asleep. Seriously? Unless they intend to wrestle the franchise away from Paramount and Secret Hideout, this is meaningless. I think that's the thing. It's like with Disney and the whole Star Wars thing. At some point in time, they are going to have to go, we need to sell this to get our money back. And then they might actually sell it to somebody who respects it.
The Roddenberry estate owns a significant portion of stuff with Star Trek. I don't know how it works. It's kind of like the Tolkien estate and how much they own of Lord of the Rings and what Amazon could or couldn't do. So I don't know where that dividing line is. I have no idea. But I just looked at this thing and it just started opening up my brain, all the possibilities and all the horrific possibilities that could start happening. And I think this has kind of been talked about, but I'd never seen anything of that quality before.
No.
That was the weird thing that got me, because when they showed Spock, I was thinking, hang on a minute, and I just couldn't quite. Is that CG? And it, like I say, for a moment you just thought, hang on, that's no, and it was too weird.
They already got like character models from The Cage, like the red-haired chick in The Cage, and some other things as test subjects to see what they could build in this thing. I haven't seen the footage yet, if there is any. I've just seen some pictures, but it's like, if they could, like, I've seen the test footage of Phase 2. Like, if they could do Star Trek Phase 2 with Kirk, Spock, and Ilia and all that they were planning to do, there's all these what ifs. I was like, boy, it would be cool to see what that version would have been like. And I think we've all talked about movies like, well, there's this version that was written that never got done, but wouldn't it be cool to see that version? Well, now they can. And it's like, is that awesome or is that terrifying? Thank you for watching this excerpt from Outpost Frequencies. Tune in live every Sunday at noon Central Time or 6 o'clock UK time. And also, remember to come to lastmovieoutpost.com for all your latest in movie news, streaming news, and everything cool about film. We are the cool news now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next stream.